Press during emergency, freedom of the press. The emergency in India was in 19th period from 1975 to 1977 when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had a state of the emergency declared across the country. Officially issues by President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad under Article 3052 of the Constitution. Because of the prevailing internal disturbance, the emergency was in effect from 25 June 1975 until its withdrawal on January 1977 in the order of the withdrawal upon the Prime Minister, the authority to rule by decree allowed to election to be cancelled and civil liberties to be suspended. For much of the emergency, most of Indira Gandhi political opponents were imprisoned and the press was concerned. Several other human rights violations were reported from the time, including the mass forced sterilization campaign spearheaded by Sanjay Gandhi, the Prime Minister's son. The emergency is one of the most controversial periods of independence history. The final decision to impose an emergency was proposed by Indira Gandhi, agreed upon by the Presidents of India, thereafter ratified by the Cabinet and the Parliament from July to August 1975. Based on the rationale, there were imminent internal and external threats to Indian state. Proclamation of the emergency. The government cited threats to national security as a war with Pakistan had recently been concluded due to the war and additional challenges of the drought and the 1973 oil crisis. The economy was in poor condition. The government claimed the strikes and protests and had applied the government and hurt to the economic of the country greatly. It was a phase of massive political opposition, disarray and disorder across the country and the party. Gandhi stuck to the advice of a few loyalists and her younger son Sanjay Gandhi, whose own power had grown considerably over the last few years to become an extra constitutional authority. Siddharth and Shankar Rai and Chief Minister of the West Bengal proposed to the Prime Minister to impose an internal emergency. He drafted a letter for the President to issue and the proclamation based on the information Indira had received that there is an imminent danger to the security of Indian being threatened by internal disturbance. He showed how democratic freedom could be suspended while remaining within a ambit of the Constitution. Proposed to the Prime Minister to impose an internal emergency. He drafted a letter for the President to issue the proclamation based on information. Indira had received that there is an imminent danger to the security of Indian being threatened by the internal disturbance. He showed how democratic freedom could be suspended while remaining within an ambit of the Constitution. After acute questions regarding to procedural matter, President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad declared a state of internal emergency. Upon the Prime Minister advice on the night of 25 June 1975, just a few minutes before the clock struck midnight. As the constitution equates, Mr. Gandhi advised and President Ahmad approved the constitution of emergency over every 6 months until she decided to hold elections in 1977. In 1976, a parliament voted to delay elections, something it could not lay on the constitution suspended by the emergency. Criticism and accusation of from the emergency era may be grouped as detention of the people by police without charge or notification of families, and abuse and torture of detained and political prisoners, use of a public and private media institution like the national television network Doordarshana for government propaganda. During the emergency, Sanjay Gandhi asked the popular singer Kishora Kumar to sing for a Congress party rally in Bombay, but he refused. As a result, Information and Broadcasting Minister Vidya Charan Shukla but an unofficial and ban on playing Kishora Kumar song and state broadcaster. All India Radio and Doordarshana from May 1976 till the end of the emergency. Forced sterilization. Destruction of the slum and low-income housing in the Turkam Gate and Jama Masjid area of the Delhi. Large-scale and illegal enactment of the new laws. Based on the rationalists, then there were imminent internal and external threats of the Indian state. Indira Gandhi devised to a 20-point economic program to increase agriculture and industrial production, improve the public service and fight poverty and literacy through the discipline of the graveyard, and in addition to the official 20-point, Sanjay Gandhi declared his 5-point program promoting literacy, family planning, tree planting, and eradication of casteism and the abolition of dowry later during the emergency. The two projects emerged into the 25-point program. And the tribunal. The effort of the Janata administration to get government and official and Congress politician tired from emergency era abuse and crimes were largely unforeseeable due to the disorganized, over complex, and politically motivated process of litigation and the 38 Amendment of Constitution of India, put in a place shortly after the outset of the emergency, and which among the other things prohibited judicial review of state of emergency and actions taken during them, also likely played in a role of in the lack of success, although special tribunal were organized and scores of seniors Congress part and government officials arrested and charged, including Mr. Gandhi and Sanjay Gandhi. Police were unable to submit sufficient evidence for most cases, and only a few low level officials were convicted of any abuses.